Hey guys, welcome back. Did you hear about the big filing by Hyliion on Friday night? Well, we're going to be talking about that and also an update on some of the other SPACs, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on the newer ones and if they're worth paying attention to. So we'll talk about Hyliion. I'll talk about, of course, SPAQ, which have a lot of rumors going around them, and we'll see if it's a good company that you should look into and investigate more, or if it's a complete dud. So let's start right now.
Well, guys, we have some pretty big news coming from Hyliion. I know we've all been waiting for it, and I'm pretty excited about it. So on Friday night, they filed something with the SEC that's important for any of us that are invested in the company or is interested in getting in before the merger. So as you guys might know, I have shares of Tortoise, and I've actually bought a few more, so I'm at 350 right now. So anyway, after the merger, the companies need to have a meeting to vote on it and have the stockholders agree to it. So up until now, we only knew that they wanted to merge before the end of Q3, which brings it before September 30th, but they didn't really give us any indication of when the meeting was going to be. And that's bad in a way because with SPACs during that time, the share price usually drops, kind of like Tortoise dropped from 32 to as low as 23. So right now it rebounded up to 2650 as of me filming this, but we can assume that once they announce the meeting, the hype train is going to restart and the stock price should go up fairly quickly. So Friday night they filed the paperwork with the SEC announcing the meeting. So they left the date blank, so we don't know exactly what date it's going to be, but we can assume that they're going to be announcing it very, very shortly because they want the PR. So if you guys were looking to jump in or add some more shares to your position, time seems to be running out. But there's another big piece of information in the filing that got a lot of people worried, so I wanted to address it because it's not really a huge deal, but people have been concerned about it. So once they have the meeting, one of the votes the stockholders are going to have is on increasing the number of Class A shares from 200 million to 250 million. And that's got a lot of people worried, which, if you read online, people are already concerned that Hyliion is going to be diluted, and now that's going to tank the price. So, look, guys, I just don't want you to worry about this too much. That's completely normal and no big deal. They're not really selling more shares right now. They're just giving the right to have 50 million more shares to the company. So if you've seen their investor presentation, it says right now there's about 160 million shares existing, but that doesn't include the warrants. And we already know that the warrants are going to dilute it. That's not hidden, like everyone already knows that. So they're just giving themselves a cushion to create those shares. And remember, they already said that they had enough money without having to raise a lot more to go into production. So it's really no big deal. I just wanted to clarify that with everyone.
So you all know how bullish I am about this company. If you haven't seen my video where I analyze Hyliion and why I think it's going to be a big winner, you can see the video right here. And you guys know what to do. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to level up your investing, just click subscribe. It's going to help me out and you'll be up to date on all of these SPACs and all of the other good investments that I find. So now let's move on to SPAQ, Spartan Acquisition, and all the rumors going around with
Fisker. So, guys, things change pretty fast. It's not just rumors anymore, it's official. Fisker will be merging with SPARTAN Energy Acquisition, ticker symbol SPAQ. So, we've been looking into this one for a little while. It's a pretty big deal for SPACs. I mean, it's 2.9 billion. And if we look at Fisker, they're going to be making electric vehicle SUVs. So they're going to be competing in the same niche as Tesla, which to me is a little bit risky, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if you look at the model, it's pretty sleek. And one of the founder, uh, that's his specialty. He's always been designing high-end luxury vehicles. So like he's renowned for his designs. So we'll be looking out for that. Now, if we look at the chart, of course, today it popped 9%. It's up to 18. So if you guys bought it early on a couple of days ago, last week, you would have done really well. I wasn't into this one, honestly, and I'm not going to get into this one for two reasons. not only are they only merging in the fourth quarter, but also they're not going to be getting into production until 2022. So if I ever get into it, I need to look at more details about the company and everything. But if I ever get into it, I'm going to be waiting until that dip that always happens before the merger, because I mean there's 6 months ish left before now in the merger. So once the hype dies down, the stock price is going to stabilize. That's when I would look to get into the position if I do. But also keep in mind that Fisker went bankrupt before, so that's one of the things you have to wait in. But we'll keep track on this one. SPAQ, I mean, there's a lot of hype, so it's very possible it's going to keep going up for a while. And then today we got some small news from BurgerFi. I don't know if you guys know about this company. They're going to be merging with OPES, another SPAC, of course. And so OPES rebounded a little bit today, but they've been struggling for a while. The management team isn't the best. They almost got delisted from the stock market, and now they're actually in appeals. So the burger places were actually already in trouble before the pandemic, and now it's not really getting better. So if you guys were thinking about getting into this one, OPES Acquisition Corp, OPES, I mean, it's a 1 or 2 years play. The place itself seems pretty good, okay, but like we know that casual dining isn't doing that well. So that's why they released to try to appease and keep the momentum going. They've been talking about their year-over-year delivery sales going up, which is good. I mean, they're not totally closed, but see, I wanted to actually go check it out for myself. I take my due diligence very seriously, guys. Going to eat burgers is very serious due diligence. But in my area, it's actually closed, so I can't even go check it out. So BurgerFi OPS, personally, that's another SPAC that I'm not really into. I mean, maybe in the future it's going to be good, but not in the short term. It's not going anywhere. So moving on to another different one. And now another SPAC that I'm looking into is FMCI, which recently announced that they were going to be merging with Tattooed Chef. I mean, my first reaction was, what the heck is Tattooed Chef? I mean, it was a big disappointment because people were hoping that they were going to be merging with Impossible Burgers, but they settled with Tattooed Chef. So the stock has kind of been trading in a channel between 1550-ish and 17 for the past couple of days. It's not really going anywhere. The hype has died down, but I'm going to keep an eye out on it long term. I mean, it's not an exciting play. That's the big thing. It's not like an electric vehicle, but if you notice, like they're in the food industry. It's a commodity, but they're still making some decent brands, and their sales are expected to continue growing at a pretty good clip. So this isn't the type of like sexy part of your portfolio, but if you want to be diversified, it's good to have these companies that are going to be growing long term and not making a lot of waves, not going up and down like crazy. So I'm keeping an eye out on this one. Tattooed Chef, who would have thought? Maybe I'll start buying this stuff too. All right, guys, and one last SPAC to talk about today. I wanted to mention Collier Creek Holdings, which is CCH, and they're going to be merging with Huts, the snack brand. Huts makes like chips and snacks like these that you find in all of the grocery stores. So, since we were talking about Tattooed Chef, which seems like it has pretty good growth, I wanted to talk about another food SPAC. This one doesn't seem as interesting to me long term. It has some potential, but it's not explosive potential, and that's kind of reflected in the stock, right? Over the past couple of days, or the past month, it hasn't really done that much. People aren't excited to jump on the stock, so I don't expect a lot of growth. They haven't really announced the merger date yet, so that's another thing to look at. Um, what's interesting here is if we look at Huts, their financials aren't that great. They didn't even make a lot of income or profits in the past year. However, if we do look at their sales growth, if I can find it, sorry. I mean, they are getting more sales every year, and they're launching new brands. So I wouldn't call this a growth stock at all. But the management team coming in from Collier Creeks is good and has launched some really good brands before and managed some good companies. So keep CCH in mind. It's not going to be like another home run, but it might be a base hit. So I'm going to keep looking at it. So I don't really expect any big momentum for the stock price. So I don't think it's a good momentum play, kind of like SPAQ, Fisker is going to be, or like Hyliion, which of course is my favorite. So that's it for CCH. I hope you guys learn a little bit more about these companies. Let me know which one interests you, because like this type of company, it makes a part of your portfolio, but it's like the long-term part. It's not your short-term momentum plays that are going to make you short-term money. It's more to stay diversified. But let me guys know if there's any of these companies that interest you. So coming up this week, I have a really exciting video that's going to be about a real stock, a real growth stock that I see a lot of potential in that I'm really excited about. Kind of like DraftKings type thing. If you guys like DraftKings, you might like this one. So stay tuned for this one. Please like and subscribe. It's kind of a different type of video today. It's more of an update. It's not as exciting, but you know, you have to keep track of what's going on with these SPACs, and not all of them get on your radar. So I hope you learn a little bit more and enjoy your day.